Yeah, I haven't been called young in a long time. So, everybody out on tour calls me the old man.
Golf's no different from hockey. It requires talent, self-discipline.
Pressure is something you create on your own when you start thinking about results.
We have some great plans for the future of that.
I saw Doug play yesterday, and I got to tell you, this guy spends more time in the sand than David Hasselhoff.
Hey there.
A fabulous evening it is. What are we, Tuesday?
It's Tuesday. See you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday is right.
See you this Tuesday. So we're here for a very special reason. One is to remind you that our previous podcast incarnation, Seen It with Bill and Jen, is going on a hiatus. And honey, I'm gonna leave it to you to tell folks as to why that is.
Well, it's not a permanent hiatus.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, when you were younger, did you used to say hyenas?
No, I was never that immature.
Oh.
Actually, I was, but that wasn't in my repertoire. I didn't hear that one on Beavis and Butthead. So.
Right. That was a good one. We used to always say that, hyenas.
Okay.
Thought it was hysterical.
Pretty sure I heard you say it last week, too. Don't act like you've outgrown it.
Still funny every time.
To our 6-year-old, yes.
Anyway, that podcast is taking a 3.5-year break.
Yes.
And it's because we're doing a new podcast that's going to chronicle me going on a journey.
Mm-hmm.
That journey is going to last at least 3.5 years.
Uh-huh.
Because in 3.5 years, maybe a little less than 3.5 years. Over the course of that time, we're going to try to get me in shape mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally.
Excuse me, husband. This bourbon is burning my throat. Don't drink on a Tuesday. Drink whenever you want. Okay, go on, please.
Stuff. And that journey is going to hopefully culminate with me attempting to qualify for the U.S. Senior Open golf tournament.
Okay.
In 2028.
All right.
In June or July of 2028.
Cool. I'm here for it, as the kids say. Jesus, I think you poisoned me.
You're going to be with me on my journey?
What you put in here? I'm dying. Is it laudanum? Is it absinthe?
It's that stuff.
Trying to take me down like a stat?
No, I would use the stuff that, Walt used in Breaking Bad.
Oh, ricin.
Yeah, put the ricin in the old...
People just think I had a heart attack.
Right?
At the unfortunate age of 43.
I think I could do it to you because I have to put it in your creamer.
Oh, yeah. I'm the only one that drinks that creamer, so you wouldn't have to worry about anybody else getting into it. But anyway.
How are we talking about that?
I don't know. Hopefully you won't want to poison me because I'm going to put you through the physical fitness gauntlet. So I love exercise. I do cardio at least 6 days a week, sometimes 7. I do a lot of Pilates. I do a lot of yoga, and I walk/hike about 20 plus miles a week. Husband, tell folks what kind of workout you do. What does your routine look like?
I tend to stretch when I'm telling my child a story at night, and I'm able to do that crossover move and feel my back just go, da, 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 da. And I'm like, oh, so nice. So I do that. When I'm in my office, I'll walk when I'm going downstairs, but I'll take the elevator when I go up.
Uh-huh.
Obviously up, it's harder.
Uh-huh.
And when I play golf, I walk. I don't take a cart.
So that's the extent, even though this man he's got a gym in his office.
Wellness center.
A wellness center, but it's got weights and cardio machines and all that good stuff. So fortunately for both of us, I work a block away from my husband. And on my lunch breaks, I'm going to start paying him a visit. And I'm going to start torturing his ass. It's going to be amazing. And there is one of your colleagues lifts every day.
Yes.
I think at 4:00.
Yes.
And I'm going to talk to him.
I feel like I'm on the stand.
Unless you feel like that's emasculating and you can have the conversation yourself. Otherwise, I'm coming in and I'm going to say, can you help my husband? Because I can't do weight training because I have an injury. So that's on somebody else. The cardio and all that shit, strengthening your core, which is super important to golf.
Yes.
That's going to be on me. Your arms. That's going to be on your homeboy at work.
Okay. I'm starting to feel like I'm not on the stand anymore.
Okay, good. I didn't mean to badger the witness.
It's a yes or no question. Yes.
You need me on that wall.
Yes.
You can't handle the truth.
Yes,
I mean, I think it's just, that's all it is.
Can I please go?
I'm sorry. Okay. It's going to be really important as we go on this journey that you're honest with me.
Yep.
Honest with yourself.
And with our listeners.
Yes. So, and we're going to dumb things down.
Some shaming could happen.
Yes, there's going to be a lot of shaming, but you're going to be like, why doesn't he divorce her? Jesus. But it's necessary. I'm doing this for a reason. I don't want to deprive you of things that taste good simply for the sheer pleasure of depriving you of something. I would never do that to you. You need to be in top physical form in order to meet this goal.
Yep. Because you have to have, in order to qualify, not only do you have to be 50, age 50 or over, but your handicap, which is kind of like your average relation to par type, it's the easiest way to describe it, needs to be a 2.4 or less.
Okay.
And right now I'm at an 8.8.
Okay. We got a ways to go.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
We will.
I think we should tell folks before we get any further, and maybe it's a faux pas for not doing so earlier, what our friggin' podcast is even called. So you're going to be able to find us, just audio, on Apple and Spotify. And that is, and I had to make notes because I'm quickly approaching senior status myself here. So the name of our podcast is Desperately Seeking Senior. We also have TikTok, which is Dry Double, and then YouTube, which is Dry Double Golf, and Insta, which is Dry Double. Now, you may be wondering, what is this reoccurring? Yes, this is a dosage journal that we got from one of the weed stores. I made notes in it. So you may be wondering why my husband has decided to call us Dry Double. Our production company, is this our production company?
No, we won't talk about the production company yet. The enterprises.
So we don't want to get ahead of ourselves.
No, not yet. But Dry Double is, I picked that not only because of the alliteration. That's alliteration, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
You got it.
Not only because of that, but also a friend of mine came up with the term once, and a dry double is getting a double bogey on a golf hole without a penalty stroke, without it going in the water or going out of bounds. And double bogey is just a really awful score. And actually doing a little research today for this journey, I learned that's one of the either 5 or 6 stats that you should be keeping track of.
Interesting.
And that one of the quickest ways to a lower score is to avoid double bogeys. Obviously worse. And sometimes it means trying to say, okay, I'm just going to take my bogey on this hole to make sure I don't take double bogey instead of bringing in that kind of thing. But so yeah, that's the Dry Double.
Okay.
Little Dry Double moniker.
Okay. Good stuff. Now people know.
Yes.
And we're going to dumb things down for you too, as I started to say earlier, because we want folks who aren't avid golfers to understand, because it's irrelevant whether or not you're a golfer. Like, okay, remember when we first started dating and you're like, you're going to fucking love the show, The League. And I'm like, I don't give a shit about fantasy football. Yeah. And I watched it and I'm like, oh my God, this is about so much more than fantasy football. And the comedy is absolutely brilliant and right up my alley.
Yep.
This is the experience we're trying to bring to you. Now, I'm not putting myself or my husband on the level of like Nick Kroll or John LaJoy, but it's that kind of vibe, right? Even if you're not a golf fan per se, you're going to be a fan of Bill and Jen.
Yeah.
Especially Bill, because he's our champion.
And thank God I watched so much golf on TV over the time that we've known each other, so that you have all this previous knowledge to draw on as we do this podcast centered on this golf journey.
Yes, and I do. And I might not play myself because after 13 years, I don't know why. My husband just hasn't taught me. I don't know who he thinks he's going to play with in his golden days or his golden years. But I don't know. I'm not going to know what to do. So
I actually now think I need to worry about that, since apparently the golden years are right around the corner.
They are. I mean, if you're trying to get on the friggin' Senior Open. So yeah, you have to get me up to par on this. No pun intended. But yeah, 13 years of being a golf spectator, both in person and on TV. I've learned a lot of shit. I know the names of all the really good looking golfers. But I also know some golf terminology. And, my husband he doesn't just watch golf. You watch a gang of shows. We watch No Laying Up.
The YouTube stuff.
Yeah. And I like those guys, and I'm not a golfer. And, you know, when I met Tron, I told him, I was like, dude, you guys focus on equity so much. And I love that. You're always going to get me on equity. You're always going to get me on, you know, that kind of stuff. So, you know, I end up watching a lot of stuff and actually enjoying a lot of it. And I've become like a huge fan of Paige and what she's doing and using her erotic capital to make money and, you know, fucking saying fuck all the haters. And, you know, there's some admirable stuff going on in golf. And also, apparently I'm a golf mom.
Yes.
I'm a golf parent.
Yes.
So.
You mentioned the haters, and it's possible that I could get some haters that are wondering why I have the audacity.
I hope we get haters
to try this
because I want to respond.
Right.
But how are you going to shut these fuckers down?
Well, let me go over my golf resume.
Okay.
This is my journey.
Okay.
So far.
I'm going to act like I've never heard any of this.
Exactly.
It's all new information.
I know. I just wish there was piano music in the background right now.
Oh God, there are. We're using. I keep wanting to call it Riverdale. My husband keeps calling it Riverdale, but we're using Riverside. No, they don't pay us. Nobody pays us. But they do have a feature where you can integrate sound effects. So this is literally our first night using Riverside. So we're going to play with this. We're going to bring you some piano music, some Masters theme music moving forward.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, my resume, first golf lesson I took was at age, I believe around 12 or 13. My dad got me a lesson out at Harding Park, right close to here. And lesson, he was like, well, what'd you think? Did you like it? I said, yeah, I think I like it. He was like, all right. Got a set of clubs from a friend of his that stopped playing. And I tried out for the golf team in high school, didn't make it, wasn't good enough. I hadn't started playing early enough, I feel like. And then when I went, but met some friends who we would always play golf together and everything. Yeah. And then went to college and was thinking, oh, you know, I sometimes have some good days in golf. You know, I went to UC Davis. They were Division II school at the time. Like, oh, they probably love to have a cool dude like me. A dude with a 15 handicap or whatever it was at the time. Maybe 12 at best. Okay. Just no business. Not as bad as I thought. Yeah. At the time I thought like, oh, maybe it's fine. Like, but really at that point, you have no business doing it. But got the coach's number, left him a voicemail saying, I'd love to try out. Give me a call. Let me know. Didn't hear back at all. That's just mean. Yeah. You can pick up the phone and call a kid and be like, yeah, you know, keep trying, buddy. Maybe I'll see you next year, Rudy. Yeah. You got it, coach. I mean, that you're in education. Come on. Yeah. Yeah. Be nice. I am. Yeah. Be nice to a kid with a dream. Yeah. And then, so whatever, no big deal. But then my next thing with golf was coaching high school boys and girls golf. I was a JV coach and an assistant varsity. Which was the high school you went to and tried out at. Yes. Which gives you a sense of how friggin' good that golf program is. This isn't like my public high school. This is an elite college prep. And that's why they didn't take you. But, you know, strange world we live in. You came back to coach golf there. Oh, yeah. And it's funny, too. I rarely cut anybody from the team. Yeah. You're too nice. I am, and I remember what it was like to be cut, and it's like, you know, and so I would say like, yeah, whatever. I'd be very realistic with the kids towards the end of the team, like how many matches they would play and everything. Yeah. But I was just pretty much like, hey, if you're a nice person, I'm going to keep you. Yeah, and we'll have a good, and everyone else likes you. We'll have a good time. Aww. Anyway, so I did coaching, so saw that, and then when I was coaching part of the varsity stuff, I saw what it took at that level to be the best of the best, and saw some really, really good players, ones that later went on to be PGA pros. And so saw that. And then after that, you and I went to that golf tournament at Stanford when you worked at Stanford. Yeah. Because one of the kids that I had coached was playing on the Davis team. Who now works at the Olympic Club. Yep. He's a very nice young man. Did he just get married? He might have. I know he was engaged, but yeah. Congrats. Awesome. Yeah. Good full circle, man. Yeah. Shit happens when you live in San Francisco. It's a very small circle. And that was cool. That was fun to see that level too, that college level and what it takes to succeed there. And then I've seen some professional tournaments. Dad took me, surprised me, like woke me up in the morning, said, wake up, kid. We're going to the US Open down at Pebble Beach. Story. 92. And that was cool. And then I volunteered at the 4 Tour Championship at the Olympic Club. Volunteered at the U.S. Amateur at the Olympic Club. You came and saw me volunteer at the U.S. Open at the Olympic Club in 2012. You're the whole master. Whole marshal. I like master. I'm going with master. It sounds way more metal. Oh, boy. Master. Excuse me, is the hole master here?
Put it on your golf resume,
No, I
son.
was the hole marshal that answered to the hole master.
The dungeon master. Did you roll a D6?
DM.
Anyway, I've never played Dungeons and Dragons. That's my only D&D joke.
So yeah, I've witnessed some high level golf and seen like how the pros play and everything.
All right.
So that's that. Now, next on the resume would be my competitive past.
People need to know. This is more important.
It is. I obviously just told you I didn't play in high school. I didn't play in college.
Mm-hmm.
My first tournament was when I think I was 14. I played in the Lake County Amateur.
Uh-huh.
I was either 14, 15, or 16, right around there. And that was my first tournament. Had no idea what I was doing. Hit my first tee shot, snap hook left, out of bounds. I was like, I think you should probably hit another one. I was like, okay. And then played in the San Francisco City Championships, one of the longest running, if not the longest running.
Multiple times.
City Championship. Yes.
Yeah.
One time my handicap was good enough. I think it was sub 5. I played in the championship division. I was like, I may never play in this ever again or have my handicap that low ever again. So played in that and didn't finish last. Did okay. And then I've played, in some team competition stuff, some group stuff.
Played in a lot of club tournaments. Every time a tournament comes up at like Glen Eagles,
when I was at Sharp Park and then now at Glen Eagles.
Yeah.
So I play in those. And those at times, there's a couple of them that are very competitive.
Okay.
Or seem very competitive, which is good. But nothing like what I'm going to try to do at the U.S. Senior Open. So.
Yeah, this is going to be a journey. It's
Yeah.
going to be a challenge.
Yeah.
And speaking of Sharp Park and Pacifica, go play golf there like very soon because it's whale migration season. And there are so many humpbacks that they're probably visible from the course.
Yeah.
Can you imagine just like looking over and seeing a humpback whale breach?
Right.
It's a magical shit. That's a good omen for golf, I would say. Yeah. So it's beautiful.
It is a great course.
Got to get out there. And so, speaking of that course, we're not just going to be sitting here. I promise. This is going to be a multimedia journey, right? We're going to have some videos where we're just sitting here, but we're going to have a lot of like action videos. My husband at the course, my kiddo at the course because he's in first tee. Maybe my husband teaching me how to do some stuff in golf. But really, the focus is going to be my husband. So you're probably going to get to meet his friends too.
Yep.
He's got some lifelong friends that he mentioned that he golfs with all the time, and they're friggin' hilarious dudes, and you're going to want to see them in action. So we're going to convince them to be in this as well. We're going to enlist people.
Yes.
to be Team Bill.
Yeah.
We're going to get bracelets, bro. Team Bill. It's going to be amazing.
Team Dry Double.
Team Try Double. There we go. Yeah, I got to get right with the marketing.
And we'll do some other stuff too with the journey. Obviously, we talked about the food. We talked about the exercise, the golf. We'll have to go over practicing. There'll be golf adjacent stuff. We'll highlight each week a player that's on the PGA Tour that's my age that I might be competing against for a spot in this tournament. We'll look at the Champions Tour, which used to be called the Senior Tour. Now it's Champions Tour.
Okay.
And so we'll talk about week to week who's playing well there. You'll recognize some of the names if you're a golf person. And if not, we'll go over them and any history we have with them, their personalities. Hey, we'll talk about the news.
We need to talk about the news.
We should
There's a lot of interesting stuff happening, particularly in our own backyard. We're bringing that information, and of course, anything interesting that happens in golf. But we don't get a lot of Scotty Scheffler moments in golf. So.
No, we don't.
that was truly unique and entertaining for all the wrong reasons. So, yeah, we think you're going to enjoy this. Don't forget to let me open my dosing journal and look at my notes. Don't forget, we are going to be on both Apple and Spotify. And the name of our podcast is Desperately Seeking Senior. I really don't need these notes, but I feel like if I don't look at them, I'm going to make a mistake. Right. So yeah. Then we have TikTok, Dry Double, YouTube, Dry Double Golf, and Instagram is Dry Double as well.
And I believe, we are on X at Dry Double. Also.
I don't want to be on X. We're going to have to talk about this.
Oh,
that was my chair, not my butt. Yeah, we're going to talk about X. I've got some feelings. So more to come on that. So, whoa, I just knocked into my microphone here. It's that time of the night. This is
We'll delve into that one next time.
Yes, I like that. All right. So Chuck Woolery, I don't even know that's who says that. But anyway, we will see you next week.
Woolery, I think, was 2-2.
Oh, Chuck Woolery was 2-2. The love connection, guys. We're ready for senior status because we're almost there. So yeah, we're going to try to come at you weekly, but life happens. And when you have a small child, life really happens. So we're going to attempt to do that. So stay tuned for a lot of cool footage, an awesome David and Goliath journey, and your new favorite married couple, Phil and Jen.
Swing away.